It was August of 2015. Post Malone was yet to get his first tattoo and had just 6 months prior released his major breakout song White Iverson. He'd done his first radio interview exactly 4 months beforehand, which went extremely well.
I put out White Iverson like 2 months ago. We just hit 2 million views like a couple days ago, which is crazy.
And to keep this momentum going, he'd agreed to appear on The Breakfast Club.
I'm sure most of you guys know who Post Malone is. American songwriter, rapper, singer. He's been around for a while now, actually. Makes really good music. Different type of music than what I'm accustomed to, but I still listen to his music from time to time. He did a interview years back with The Breakfast Club, and he got a lot of support from it just because one of the interviewers was really shitty to him, essentially. So we're gonna watch a breakdown by Sunny V2. He's gonna break down essentially how Post Malone humbled Charlamagne the God, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard from The Breakfast Club. So we're gonna watch the interview, or we're gonna watch the video by Sunny V2 and see how things go. So let's get straight into it.
Post Malone was on track to become a megastar, and Charlamagne could clearly sense it.
Because you don't realize you about to be a star.
No, I think I know that's coming.
Charlamagne therefore spent almost an hour trying to corner and embarrass his guest.
What are you doing for the Black Lives Matter movement?
I don't know.
Although the whole situation completely backfired to Post Malone's benefit. It was August of 2015. Post Malone was yet to get his first tattoo and had just 6 months prior released his major breakout song White Iverson. He'd done his first radio interview exactly 4 months beforehand, which went extremely well.
I put out White Iverson like 2 months ago. We just hit 2 million views like a couple days ago, which is crazy.
And to keep this momentum going, he'd agreed to appear on The Breakfast Club. The show is well known for being the most listened to hip-hop and R&B morning show in America, and features 3 hosts, one of which being Charlamagne the God, who to be fair is usually an excellent presenter. The Breakfast
What I'll say, I mean, over the years, The Breakfast Club has definitely gone down in reputation. And that's because one of the hosts left. I think her name was Angela Yee. She left The Breakfast Club. Not only did she leave, but the head guy, what's his name again? DJ Envy. He got into some mess about scamming people, and that's still ongoing currently. But Charlamagne the God, I mean, to me at least, he's not the most likable person. Granted, he says a lot of things that make sense, and that's true. Like, he says things that people don't say. But the thing is, he's very selective who he says things to, and I don't really respect that. I think you should keep the same energy with everybody, whether you like them or dislike them. If there's some issues, you should definitely state those issues. Because even now, there's an issue going on with DJ Envy, which is his co-star or co-host. And he has yet, from my understanding, he has yet to say anything about it. So I don't respect that at all. But that's just my viewpoint. I'm sure you guys think differently. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
Breakfast Club has hosted almost every rapper from Kanye West to Jay-Z, making it a massive opportunity for any up-and-coming artist, which in this case was Post Malone.
We are the Breakfast Club. Special guest in the building.
State your name, soldier.
Post Malone.
Post Malone.
The interview began extremely positively, with Post and Charlamagne bonding over their support for the same football team.
He is from Dallas, and he's a Dallas Cowboys fan.
My guy.
Yeah.
And I tried
Cowboys,
my
baby.
hardest.
Yeah.
However, when Post revealed his dad also worked for the Cowboys, Charlamagne's rudeness began to show.
His dad actually used to work for the organization.
What was he, water boy?
He does. He still works for the
What does he do?
organization. He's like head of concessions.
See? I said water boy. That's like kind of...
No, he in the
for,
office.
man?
He's in the
What you mean, head of
office.
concessions?
He's in the
Office,
office.
Laughing at his dad's respectable job is mad disrespectful. The shit that pissed me off more than anything was when they were basically laughing at Post's dad's concession job.
Yeah, I didn't rough with this. Like when I saw the original interview, because I watched it before I started watching this again. I think that was kind of like disingenuous, laughing at somebody for being hardworking, and I'm pretty sure he was making or is making money at the job he's doing. Laughing at that's that didn't sit well with me. So that's a big L for the Breakfast Club for that one for sure. And the thing is, like, nobody checked Charlamagne for that. DJ Envy was there, and the other lady, Angela Yee was there, but nobody checked him for that. That's one thing I disliked about the whole thing. Nobody said, okay, yeah, you gotta chill with that. Nobody ever says anything to any of them when they make a mistake. They always just let it rock, which I'm not sure that's always the case, but majority of the times that's the case. They let things rock without saying anything. And now you gotta keep people accountable for sure.
Are you afraid as a white rapper that you may be considered a culture vulture?
I don't think so. I'm not scared. I'm not scared because I'm not trying to be anybody that I'm not. I'm just trying to, I like what I like. And I don't think I'm biting off of a certain culture or copying a certain culture or trying to be part of a certain culture because, I like what I like.
Charlamagne then tried to trick Post into saying the N-word.
Say my don't dance.
Hey.
You're supposed to say it. Go ahead.
And do the rock away.
No, say what I just said.
I
Don't
can't.
dance.
Y'all trying to get me in trouble.
Before hitting him with another loaded
Yeah, even that was a little bit too much, man. I don't know the way Charlamagne does things, and again, his energy with certain people is different. I seen an interview, or I can't remember who it was on his was on the show, and Charlamagne said something, and the guy checked him then and there, and Charlamagne's attitude going forward was just like he was just so passive. So he doesn't keep the same energy for everybody, and asking somebody to say the whole culture vulture thing or the whole culture vulture debate. Listen, we all grew up like it's such a blended country now, the US and even places overseas. It's so blended that a lot of the times there really isn't one culture. It's many different cultures put together. So you're not really vulturing off anybody's culture, I should say. Because yeah, I mean everybody come together at this point. You rarely find an area or a region that's just strictly one culture. I think it's like a blending pot or a melting pot, I should say, of different cultures. So I don't really agree with that. But there's definitely people out there that uses the culture for different things, but I don't think Post Malone is one of those people. I think he's just a genuinely humble dude, and he loves the culture, and he's embracing it.
before Post Malone appeared on 106 KMEL to talk about Charlamagne himself.
This about Charlamagne. What's up, Charlamagne?
Oh, we.
Holla at me.
Oh, say it to my
I'm
face.
just joking.
He's so stupid.
I mean, I get it. I mean, that's his job. I mean,
Right.
that's his job to be a troll on the radio and on the internet.
I will say
And-
you handled that very
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't get too excited. Just gotta relax. It's not that serious.
Post Malone expanded on this when talking to Ethan from the H3 podcast.
They kind of came at you in a really shitty way.
I think it's really easy to come at me. Just a guy that makes music, and not only that, but I feel like it's his job to be a troll. He should have said something. Like, if you're in that situation, it's a hell of a lot different.
Of course.
The internet's a funny place.
Yeah.
Yet Post Malone later explained in a Rolling Stone article that it might have been better to put the questions back on Charlamagne. I wish I'd said, what are you doing for Black Lives Matter? Some sassy shit to shut him up. Like, maybe my music's not the best, but I know I'm not a bad person, so you're just being a hater. Charlamagne
He should have definitely been, yeah, what are you doing for Black Lives Matter, right? That's a loaded question to ask somebody on this. Well, I guess it's an interview. You could ask whatever you want to ask, but just ask, what are you doing for Black Lives Matter out of nowhere? Like, nothing led up to that. That was just like a random question. I think he asked because he feel like he's a culture vulture, right? He's just taking money from the culture and taking money from people in the culture that support him, but he's not doing anything to like uplift or build up the culture. Which, to some degree, I understand where that's coming from, but I think the way he led with so much hostility into the initial interview, that made that question came off just seemed disingenuous, and just seemed like he was trying to provoke him to saying something that would get him canceled, essentially.
He began touring with Justin Bieber, had an extremely successful debut album launch, and gained over 1 million Instagram followers, prompting The Breakfast Club to invite him back for another interview, which Post Malone unbelievably accepted. The top comment read, "I'm not sure why Post Malone would ever return to this radio show, however, he was set to win no matter what. Either The Breakfast Club treats him disrespectfully, Post Malone keeps his cool and sees growth just like the last interview, or The Breakfast Club treats him respectfully, Post Malone again easily keeps his cool and sees growth, with situation 2 seeming more likely, given the second interview began by acknowledging how poorly the previous one went."
Oh, he's back.
And he has a Bud Light with him today.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Post Malone.
Post Malone is back.
I wasn't here, and it got rough.
It
No,
didn't,
that's-
though.
get rough.
People always tweet me like, yo, you were so hard on Post Malone. How? We had a conversation.
Well, you did say that he was going to lose his girl, but she's
And she's
still
here.
However, Charlamagne's jealousy had only gotten worse,
What's the
Couple
hardest
weeks ago.
thing? Is it like the stardom? Is it the money? Is it the fame?
resulting in him instantly trying to sabotage Post's relationship with Justin Bieber.
He got mad girls in the studio,
Oh yeah, sure.
mad drugs, mad
stop.
alcohol.
It's a little
You never been
weed,
over
bro.
there?
Oh, in the studio?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I mean not really.
That's reaching so much. I don't know. That is reaching, man. You implying he's implying that they do drugs in the studio. I think Justin at the time was probably, I don't know how old he was. Yeah, I don't know how old he was, but I think he was on the age. So implying shit like that, that's a little bit out of pocket to me.
Did you vote for Trump?
I didn't vote.
Tell me more. Because you're young and you got a voice, I would like to know your thoughts on the current system.
Do you feel like one of them was more fit than the other, though?
I mean,
If you had-
I'm gonna talk about that with my friends.
What do you do when
Yeah, I mean, I respect him for, I wouldn't say dodging that. I respect him for the way he approached that. He's going to talk about it with his family, I think he said, or his friends, whatever. Because I think being in a black environment, and this is with me too, like I've had friends who ask me, yeah, who do you vote for? And I have friends in different ethnicity and ethnic groups. And it's really hard having conversations sometimes because like one, either they lean far left or far right. Not far right or far left, but either they lean one way or the other. And having discussions sometimes like pulling teeth. You're trying to talk to them about certain things, and they're so quick to like get at you about it, and it makes no sense to me. So most of the times, like when it comes to politics and stuff like that, I don't have conversations with friends about things like that because it never leads anywhere good. It just leads to back and forth, and I'm not really one for the back and forth. I'll have a discussion with you, don't get me wrong, but when we're going back and forth without any end in sight, it makes no sense to me. So I think the way he handled that, Post Malone handled that, was really good. Charlamagne, man, he's out of pocket.
when you experience racism? Like meaning that you're around some white people who may be being racist. How do you?
I mean,
use your
I
power?
don't hang out with racists.
Charlamagne disrespected Post Malone over
You tweeted once that I don't know. I don't follow you until that.
and over.
Do you listen to it?
Absolutely not. I might though.
What do you mean, absolutely? You might like it. You might like it.
However, Post Malone had again managed to keep his cool, resulting in even more favor from the audience. Everyone is talking about how rude they were, but what stands out even more is Post's ability to not let them under his skin, or at least not show it. He's a great dude with a lot of compassion and love for what he does, and everything/everyone around for him. Mad respect for this dude and the way he conducts himself, while everyone only had the opposite to say about Charlamagne. Charlamagne hella disrespectful. He's the product of jealousy. To see a kid much younger than you living your dream, it's gotta be tough. Someone's feelings are hurt because the best they'll ever do is a morning radio show, and Post made dude feel stupid just by being his nice, positive self, leading Charlamagne to then invite someone dressed like Post Malone onto the show just so he could mock him. It's their
He was hurt. I think he was hurt after all the interview, all the comments got at him about the way he approached the interview. So he's gonna try to like save face and do some extra shit just to look good in the public eye. But yeah, he was definitely hurt after this whole thing came out. Rightfully so, man. You looked like an asshole, and you came off as like an asshole. So you deserve the backlash or whatever you were receiving, man.
Therefore, no surprise that when asked about Charlamagne a year after The Breakfast Club, Post Malone calmly told Rolling Stone, "He's not a good person, he hates me because I'm white and I'm different. But we're still rocking and we're still successful and he can't stop it." Although this would only reignite their beef, as Charlamagne responded, "I don't not like people because they're white. I just didn't like him because at the time I thought he was whack," adding that he loves Rockstar and encourages Malone to keep growing, keep winning, although in the 10 days after this, Charlamagne was saying the opposite.
After reading this Rolling Stone interview, not only is his music not my cup of mayonnaise, but neither is his personality. Because you're not as talented as you think you are.
Charlamagne then went to the effort of convincing other podcasters that Post Malone sucked,
You don't like Post Malone. You think he's trash. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about that. Why do you think he's trash?
which clearly didn't work.
I don't even understand how you are this successful and this biased.
I'm not biased. You think Post Malone is a dope artist?
Yes.
Why? And when I
Hella successful and biased. But I think like I think that's his personality on the internet, right? He's like somewhat of a troll. And I'm sure he thinks like this in his personal life as well. But I do think it's amplified because he's on the internet and he wants that shock factor. So he says the craziest things to his guests, and that kind of grabs people's attention to kind of help him with his career overall. So again, I do think to some degree he might feel it this way about certain people, but I do think it's a lot of shock factors that comes with it too.
met him, he was a really good guy and had really great energy.
While even Jake Paul, who had his own beef with Post Malone, told Charlamagne his attacks were baseless.
We actually went back and forth on
Post is
Twitter.
trash, but go ahead.
I mean, he's number one.
Still trash. You can be number one and still be trash.
Numbers don't lie, bro.
One of Charlamagne's most respectful and entertaining traits is that he sticks to his guns and refuses to be a pushover, although in this case he probably should have made an exception.
Just don't be a dick, because like dicks get places, but then like at the end of the night, you're gonna not be able to fucking sleep.
Dicks get places, but at the end of the night, you might not be able to sleep. I mean, I do get that. I don't know, man. Charlamagne is out of pocket with a lot of the guests he have on the Breakfast Club. In general, like some of his opinions or some of his viewpoints definitely make sense, but the way he goes about it, the way he says certain things, it just comes off as being jealous or bitter. It doesn't really sit well with me. So I'm glad Post Malone is the way he is, though. The way he approached that was 100% point. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and enjoy the rest of your day.